Were you involved at all in yesterday's cleanup?
No.
I was. I was so
Oh,
tired.
man, that's probably impossible with that wind.
No, it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, we pick up trash and luckily you had the trash bags to put it in.
Yeah,
Tough wind, tough weather.
right.
Before I got hired, back in October, I asked the person that was hiring me what the weather was like here. He said, oh, it's just like Alabama. No, he lied to me. This was a tough winter. Everybody
Oh,
said,
good. She'll be here.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Larry, how are you?
hello.
Good.
Hello.
You get blown away, huh?
I sat down in mine, I almost hit the back.
Right.
Yeah, I went to a meeting the other day and they had these new big poofy roller chairs, but it was on the floor. So I sat down and it was surprise.
Give it about four more minutes and get started.
I mean, it wasn't like a serious deal.
Have you been to one of these before?
I'm sorry? Can you hear me? Everybody hear me okay?
I've seen it. Okay.
Was some of it at the auction?
No, but I remember.
I'm new.
You're new. No.
Yeah.
That's where I saw. Oh, no, this is the thing where, Dina Milliken, she left before you came, but she was in that lead. So she took photos, I mean, she paired up with this fellow who's a photographer, and she used his photos as a basis for paintings, and so they decided to have
YouTube videos.
display where they paired
The real photos
and then, yeah.
Oh, how
photo
fun.
and
Oh,
some
Styles of partying
together.
And you saw that?
Well, no, here, just here, a
75.
couple weeks ago, I guess.
Oh. So,
Kind of interesting.
like,
No,
is that-
Creator.
so these are pairings, that's.
Yes.
That's
each one is
photographed.
paired.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the photo and then the painting. All the way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Reference for horses.
That's cool.
Isn't that neat? And not exact, like she takes liberty, it's just sort of like, well, this is I'll use this kind of as an idea. Some of them, you know.
Small watercolor.
Yeah, but I kind of like her. I like watercolor.
I was here.
But this doesn't look like from where you're sitting.
A waste of gas.
It's shiny, the paper is shiny.
Well, there's a little bit kind of that buzzing type, like movement type.
Yeah, that would have
I've been
worked.
told it's never been like that.
They got something all right.
Doing it.
I'm an Allen person.
But anyway, it was kind of interesting going around.
Sure.
But it's.
I might need to get that.
How are you?
How are you today? Yeah.
Yep, every single person's got to keep one. Couple for the desk.
One for every room, and then 3 for the rest of the.
But there's a paper, you know, the introduction to the.
Back there on the
Back
wall.
there that explains it. Yeah. Yeah. They're all beautiful.
They are, and the colors are.
Did any of you do the beadwork? Do any of the beadwork?
Oh, like after we got home?
I helped, but I wasn't very good at it. The weaving actually, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as it gets more spring here, we might could get some willows and try our hand at weaving something.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's
I wonder how the kids did.
Marquita?
Cause they were doing.
yeah, there was one little girl there really had it down.
Yeah, the one back there, she said her
I'm
mom, she'd done the
I'm a
work
tribal
before, I guess, her mother, grandmother,
reservation.
introduced her to it, so she kind of was already.
I read older books, and in one of the older books, sorry,
I'm just a white man.
forget his name. They just taught me how to say hello.
I'm just very
Mike,
privileged to
Mike,
be working where I am.
Mike.
It's a great job.
Mike,
Mike,
Mike, get I have a book that my grandmother gave me by Gene Stratton Porter, who was a writer back in the 30s and 40s, I guess. And the way they talk about the Native American women who made baskets and stuff was just so deprecating. Just like, you could see they're slovenly and they have bad tempers and they're, sly and all this stuff. All these stereotypes, I'm like, holy cow, it's like, but they were talking about this one Native American had woven, gone out to the forest right there in Indiana and woven a willow, I don't know if it was willow bark, but it was a basket and they were talking about the leaves and everything, and then she had put flowers in it to come and sell into the city for people. And they were deprecating. They were saying, well, if this Indian can make this nice, we should have a contest to see if we can make it better. It's like, it's so sad, It's like...
Well, I guess we'll get started. Today's subject is warriors and veterans. I'm a veteran, and I take it there's a couple others here. And so some of what I share with you won't be new to you. Yeah, I was a radioman in Vietnam. I was with an air squadron, and we flew C-2 cargo planes out to the carriers every day. They call it COD, Carrier on Delivery. That's what the COD stands for. So we did the tailhook thing. You've got 3 trap wires, and you've got to catch one of them, or you go over and take a drink. And so that gets pretty scary sometimes. You're coming into the carrier, and the landing officer is checking you out if you're in line with the strip that goes down the center of the carrier. And you've got to be at the right angle coming in to be able to catch one of the lines. And if you're not, then they'll wave you off, and when you go off, you've got to hit big time G's to be able to pull away, and so it's pretty hairy sometimes.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
The seating in C2s is backwards.
Yeah.
So you're doing all of this, you can't see what's going on. You can just see through the port windows. And so when you're just doing it so many times, you just know when you're going to hook, and you just kind of brace for it. But your passengers aren't aware of when that's going to happen. And it's always fun. You get something to spew and all kinds of things. But that's what I did for 16 months, and then the rest of my tour was in Hawaii on Oahu. And I was out on the North Shore in one of the communications stations, and that was ideal. It was when I came out of radioman school, I went to a radioman school in Norfolk, Virginia, where the Naval Air Station is. And half of our class got stateside orders, and the other half got Vietnam. And so we were the ones to go to Vietnam, and all of the stateside were laughing at us. So when they swapped, we swapped with them. So we laughed at them because they were going over while we were coming back to the world, we called it. Because anybody who's been in country knows what that's like. Before I went in, my family gave me this pouch, and this pouch had earth from here that I would always come back, and had some other herbs or medicines that we use, and those were here in my pouch, and I had it in my Mae West parachute bag, and so I always wore it next to me. It's pretty weathered, but it's still kicking, and so I use it whenever I go into something. I'm gonna need a little extra help. One of the things that's in here as well is is Indian paint, and we call it a beach. A beach. It's almost like a peach, but a beach. And you get this paint from different places. You know, this particular one came from down in Moab, but you can see how red the paint is. Like red, and the paint is, you got to see red. See how red it is?
You really do just let it, try to
Extract the essence of
You'll see,
dandelions.
you'll see veins of a lot of times when you're traveling in the side hills. And, it's red, and been down in Moab, you know how red the rock is down. And there was a particular vein that was just redder than others. And so I had to do a little climbing to get up there. Anytime we take anything from the earth, we always pray over it and ask that we can take it, and we always leave an offering of tobacco. Tobacco is spirit food, and of course it's loose tobacco. Sometimes I'll carry a pack of cigarettes, but I don't smoke. But I break off like the filter, and so I offer 2 of those. Paper and tobacco goes into the earth, and then we get the paint. A lot of times we put the paint here on our temples. We talk to this paint because it's Mother Earth. It's where we come from, and we ask it for help to help us through whatever it is we're going through. So in a lot of our ceremonies, we use paint. And in our ceremonies, Sundance ceremony, I was shown how to paint myself. And it came in a dream. So every time I would go into the Sundance, I would paint myself the same way. Those dreams tell you something to see if you really believe. And if you do, then of course you get help. If you don't, then you're kind of on your own. But just depends on what the occasion is how you paint yourself. Usually it's just a couple of dots here at your temples to help you to your mind and here on your spirit, where your spirit is. Those are basically your basic hit. Sometimes, like when I Sunday, it's a red line with some dots. The line, come to find out, is the red road that I walk. The dots are the tears I'm going to suffer along that trail. And Batman's of course, just life in general. The spiritual way you're working with people. It comes sometimes you see things and deal with things that you need help with. We do the same sort of thing with our relatives when we bury them. We also put paint on it.
Is that still the tradition?
Yeah, it is. For instance, I just had a relative here who they hadn't gone in for a while. And so it was pretty, yeah. was hard to recognize him. And so when we put the paint, we say, "You're back to how you were," and then you can go that way. We receive that. So the paint is something that's not, it's very special, so you don't use it all the time. Long time ago, you'll see on the rock writing where they used to use the paint. And again, they would use the paint for special occasions. And again, it's for a specific use. And so maybe you were drawing something and wanted to include paint because it's like a vision, rock writing. It's telling a story. And perhaps there was something that, say, this person who had this dream, maybe it was a relative that was going to go through something. So they're telling a story on the rocks, and so that's where they use paint to put it where they go. And you see other old style where they have like hands, they got paint, and they glue the paint, and so you got your hand, but it's paint. Those would have been those kind of times where maybe they had ceremony there, but they wanted to leave their mark on Mother Earth, so that would have been those times that they would use paint in that way. I'm a filmmaker, so a lot of the things that I share with you are pretty much visuals, and so our native people, we were the first to always sign up or enlist for the military. We say that we've always been here, and even though we were conquered, a lot of people ask, why'd you go fight for the white man? And I say, no, we're fighting for this earth. Just happens to be that they're the military, and we're still fighting as those old warriors used to be. We're fighting for Mother Earth here, our homeland. And so that's when you're in battle, it doesn't matter who's next to you. The only way you're going to get out of there is together. So when you're in that situation, pull together and you make it. So we've had generations like my family. I've got veterans on both sides. My mother's side had 5 uncles that were all in the military. On my dad's side, there were 7 brothers, and they were all in the military. And then there was myself, and then my son was in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he's probably our highest ranking officer in the tribe. He's a captain of the Marines. And so he was in intelligence, and the group that hired him were like Blackwater, yeah. So he would go in with the heavies when they went in country, and I would always fear because I couldn't hear from him when he was in country. And he doesn't do that anymore. He's one of the bosses now, and so he sends others in. And so he deals with the Pentagon quite a bit. So he lives in Maryland, and commutes to D.C. pretty much daily, and deals with weapons nowadays. Of course, the whole gamut, do all that sort of thing. So.
Blackwater changed their name.
Yeah, they have, and I can't recall what it is. Yeah, because it all shifted here. Yeah, it was probably about 4 or 5 years after we were in Afghanistan, and changed, just like anything else, changes. So this first one is just going to be, they're all pretty short. So here we go. And part of the defense, the protect defense that the military service, you have the highest per capita service rate out in America because of the fact that 180 people was one of the people that were impacted.
As a native American and also growing up in the it was just not, I mean, one. So no, I always thought myself as a word. I was told I was. I was told I was strong. I could do anything. I
Military. Established for these two were sharing my great-great-great-grandfather, and he was an Apache scout. Those feathers carried from my ancestors.
So I'm not very good cheer.
And if I was counting that, I thought I had family with me to protect me. Being a warrior is not necessarily about going out and killing people. It's culture, our God, protecting our land, our family, our community. That's part of the warrior tradition.
Actually, one of the films that I was involved.
the latest research indicates that suicide recently has surpassed combat death and the cause of mortality in the military. We as a country have to step up to this. We have to.
Say, it's hundreds of soldiers of every corps, it's the firemen, doctors, military officials, who have the past 2 years, 2 million Americans fought. Now, soldiers as American struggles, veterans fight. Perhaps we should first.
Well, when I came back from Vietnam, my family going to Sundance for so long. Even though you may not have killed somebody directly, you were involved in it. And I think those veterans that did kill someone, that spirit stays with them, it haunts you. And if you can't deal with it, and consume you to a point that will take your life. There exists, which is 1 in 10,000 Native
Sure. Like many young soldiers, went through cleansing ceremony, prayer, you know, but I recall times landing on the carrier and I would smell sweetgrass and cedar. And I would look around the flight deck to see who was blowing sweetgrass or cedar, and I could see anything. And as we went to the hangar deck, I would think, wow, that must be like people praying for me back home. And it was my time there that I realized that I have something that nobody else has. And that's what's going to get me through. My kids are still going overseas all over the world. And now, more than Chicago, 40. American Indians, this higher percentage than any other. More than 12,000 volunteered to serve in World War I, years before they'd been granted citizenship. But it was after most Americans didn't wait. They more than 44,000 fought every year, and he did so great. Indians fought in what they were at the time. D-Day. The then comes a surprise. Absurd. Given the history of conflict, America, fortunately, century, America said that for soldiers on the back, not as adversaries, but as partners. I look at the American flag in this way. To me, the red stripes represent the Native people. We've always fought for this land. This was always our motherland. And when we were conquered, we fought together for this land. It's the white stripes. So we fought unity. And we blue on the flag. It's the land itself called the wheat. And the stars on the flag represent all those lives that were lost fighting for this land. One of the first living Americans who fought for this land was 99 from Jonas Cook from the Crow Nation. As a young man, learning to breathe Christians, that war to look out. One offered a position. Thank you very much. Okay. Always say, footsteps of my grandfather, Chief Madison, years from all the war that we require for the country. Son of a father, a grandfather. Sometimes I want to put here. Landmine, I should have gotten an information. I'll be taken back in. Living at night, clearly, your food. So, sometimes I would choose I Great Spirit, Scripture. Center and Salt Lake City is just one used neighborhood since 2000. They've offered a weekly sweat lodge ceremony, veteran suffering, lodge, behind very well, parking lot. And most of the veterans who attend these sweats are not.
I never scout on the bench. When I went into the service at 18, I went to Vietnam at 19. Yeah. How can you affect concept? I carried that around. It's just hard. But I just never had any post that journal. I came here and I was getting my blessing.
It's moving right down to the core of the part of town. As a show. That's the ceremony. And then there was the combat. There's a part of the event, isn't there? So when we have the ceremony, there's certain ceremony that offer and welcome home. They get effort to bring part of their spirit back home.
Why have you stand? I stood. They call it take others or me away and thank God and while they're doing it, sing. So try to bring the spirits in and cleanse you. And I just felt like I was cleansed and I was ready for it.
Looking at the song with the suits, I think in the middle of the so the men and women going over certainly the war. I had to draw on the various experiences I've gone to alongside the field with their ceremony. And I know that all people have that ability to reason, and that's what they do. So sometimes I ask the question, you can't reason. What is it you're reading? We sit down and have all that space for them to talk about those memories. So I heard that up and over. We were torn. I can let it go.
My name is Steve Bridge. Being a soldier in the World War, it was a pretty intense time, but it was pretty quick. But I found that after the World War, I was missing part of me and carrying around this spirit that one was a friend that was lost in jail. And slowly really impacted. By the urging my counselor suggested maybe take a minute to sweat it. Maybe see what they would say. So I did. Beginning of the sweat, sings a song to help the spirits to lodge. So throughout the ceremony that night, just imagine I'm sitting to it, speaking with me, and got a lot of social issues like that. So at the end of the ceremony, we'll put this song that sang the spirits back. So that song released really, as far as my therapy for PTSD, to be enlightened.
It's like I smoked that cedar and heard drums. We all need something to hold on to and go through. These ways help our people survive. Today, I'm a survivor of all these people.
Captain, help me, all of us, you have to go through something. And you know, I apologize for the sound. Sure, I've got the combination right.
Here. You see the battery problem?
Grasslands along the soon even celebrated their greatest victory over the white man, although not present in the battle. The spiritual leadership of the legendary local chief Sitting Bull was enough to as the man passed. Revered this holy man by the Lakota Sioux, it was said that he could communicate with animals and see visions of the future. Sitting Bull served as the military leader for all the Plains province, fighting the U.S. Army for control of the sacred homeland, refusing to move his people to the Wyoming reservation. Sitting Bull consistently opposed the government and became the first nationally known defender of the rights of Native Americans. That's the most important thing.
And then I'm not sure if I think more like serious makes
Larry, it says if you don't plug in your laptop, it's going to go to sleep. The battery charge.
Wow.
Traditional roles of a warrior in regards to Scobie, they were typically filled by males, but it doesn't mean that the women didn't have the skills that they needed to be able to perform. There's some conflicts when they were on the front line, if they were attacked, and they have to defend themselves and their children and that. So I think they've always been able to fill that role. As a young lady growing up on the Navajo Nation, I mean, from the traditional family, you know, and our traditions, women are not supposed to be hunters. We don't go on hunting parties or anything like that. We have very distinct roles on what is considered the sacred duties of Navajo women, which is taking care of the home, taking care of the children, you know, I just had this curiosity about what was on the other side of the fence. I think more the elders thought women could join, and I had more, how would you say, pushback from the elders, and not all, but it was more like, why let a woman go? You can't go, we can't do this. And I thought that was kind of interesting, but I think that's changed a lot. I mean, people see a lot of women joining now, that's definitely changed. And I always thought of myself, I really did. And I went in pretty early, and now women do a lot of things, you know, when I started, I could, and I'm really excited for women these days in the military, a lot of force battles, and the classrooms are great. And a lot of the times, we have women within our tribal government now. They're on the same tribal council, and they run for chief, they get chief, and they want the same things. And I think the older people within our tribal still have a conflict with seeing them as equals to our young because of how we were raised. And that's a big disrespect to them, and respecting their culture when it comes to that their situation for the role. They don't feel that they're myself as an individual being able to not just anywhere form, but in a military, it's been difficult, whether that was my own self-impression or it was shown to me by another individual. I felt like I had to do twice as much work to prove myself. I got to reflect on what it is. It's the most check of just, and really we are warriors because we defend the family. We are the keepers of knowledge, and then ultimately we have to stay in where our people are. I think will be a long time before women, or some of the work societies that still they will women. They may offer things they will not understand stuff like that. Even though they're jobs. This is hard because there are people that love it. As Native American women, we have a strong tradition of fight, of survival. Our first skill is to survive as human beings. And as a Native American woman, we can stand stronger because we are the closest to the earth.
How about that? That lasted just.
These are all on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Look up ourselves.
Sure. Yeah, there's a whole slew of them that just put in Native American warriors. And there were a couple of there's really nice ones about the women warriors, what they were pretty like. Thank you. Our people, when we came back, there's 12 of us Vietnam veterans left. And but there were probably about, I'd say about 75 that went to Vietnam. And a lot of them, when they came back, they didn't wipe themselves off from what they had done there. And so they ended up losing their life either through drinking or suicide or all of those things. And so when I came back, my family said, you go into the Sundance, you wipe yourself off. We have two Sundances. We have one in July. It's always been there. And then we have one in August, and that one veterans came up with when they came back to Korea. And so that's the one that I went into when I came back. And there's always a lot of military practice in that second one because we use the flag, take it down when it's supposed to be taken down. Everything is still kind of kosher with the military. You're not necessarily saluting the flag, but you're singing songs to the flag. A long time ago, when the warriors used to go out and battle, they have what they call the 49. There was 80-something warriors that went out. There were only 49 that came back. And when they came back, they stayed outside of the village, and of course, wiped off all the blood and what have you. And so when they came in, they had a celebration. And so nowadays, they still do that celebration, and it involves round dancing where you all hold hands and dance in a circle, and you're all united again. And we call that a nama, where we all come back together and we're as one again. And so I brought my drum, and I'm going to share one of those songs that we sing in 49.
Is that a tradition that's only with the youths, or is that all?
That's pretty common. 49 is pretty common with all tribes.
Okay. And, so they would be singing pretty much all night, and just grateful that they made it back. And then, of course, they'd eventually bring in whatever souvenirs they had from the battle. Back in the days when they did scouts, they'd probably bring the scouts in and parade those around. But this would have been one of the songs that they sang. What's the
white person to show respect, or when someone things like that, so we stand up, our hands go hard.
Yeah, whatever you feel is appropriate. A lot of times clapping is okay. Way we would do something to acknowledge that would be, we would just say ho. Ho is like amen. And it's pretty common all across the Indian country to say ho. Like thank you. It's also the same sort of thing. Way we say thank you is way up. Way up. It's TAH, way, TWAYOCK, way up, way up. When you say it fast, it's the way up. It's thank you. It's also good. Goodbye. So, oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But I was thinking, okay, hang in your laptop.
Looking out.
Yeah. I maintain a sweat lodge. We have ceremonies year round, and our ceremonies are every 2 weeks. And it's open to anybody who needs creator's help. And
Is that a reservation?
yeah, I live in Neola.
Where?
Neola.
Where on the reservation is the sweat?
It's in my backyard.
You can't financially?
Yes, it's Dakota.
I'm really.
It's still hard.
The only thing is the ladies not doing time monthly.
Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah. It's probably about 2 hours worth. When you go in the sweat lodge, it's completely dark, so you can't be claustrophobic. And you've got to be able to stand, eat, because you're taking those hot stones. And those stones are, we call them Vita true. There are old people. When we die and they put us back into our mother, we become those stones. So
we use those stones and we talk to them and say, well, they are our relatives. They're the ones when we put on the water, steams the breath of the Creator. And that's what cleanses us. In songs and everything, I find when we sing, we're all breathing in union, we're all singing the same thing. And, that's just the way Creator brought us together to be as one. And but we spend about 15 minutes in those 2 hours in here. The rest of the time, the door is open and we pass around water, and then we bring in more stones. During the winter, we had like 50 stones we were using, and it's getting warmer. It's used 35 last time.
Are the stones special?
They're lava rock, and so they've already gone through the heat process. Regular river rock has water in it, so when you heat it up and you pour water over it, it explodes. It's like shrapnel. And, you don't know that. Yep. So you got to know what you're doing. I've made sweat lodge for over half a year of my life. And, I started about 87. Been doing it since. So I'm considered one of the spiritual people, and I'm totally amazed that we're in this modern time. There's miracles that happen. We can take care of things, medicines and such.
What if a person can't last 2 hours?
So you do as long as you can. The main thing is that you come in and regardless if you're in here 5 minutes or you can go to the round. It's totally cool. It's open up the door and go out.
What's the appropriate attire?
For me, usually trunks or something you're comfortable in. Some of the ladies come in light sweats. Some have sweat dresses and they're made out of towels where got the arms, neck sewn together up here at the shoulders. Others wear like cotton nightgowns. Something that's comfortable but not too much. Yeah, it doesn't expose too much. Or the skin.
How do we find out when the next one is or what the schedule is?
It's this weekend, and so like 2 weeks from now, we do it at noon time.
Oh.
And I usually post it on Facebook, but yeah, there's probably about, I'd say 10 to 12 lodges on the reservation. So sometimes they're going at the same time. So sometimes I think the most that we've got in this lodge of mine is pretty big, about 25. And some of the people are big guys.
When is the July ceremony?
Sorry?
I'm sorry. When is the July ceremony?
It depends. We're going to have our bear dance here in May. And so that will be my next subject next month, the bear dance. First bear dance, I believe, is in the first week. Yes, first weekend in May. And the second one is in the second week in May. That's in Port Shane. And again, it's open to anybody So come check it out. If you want to dance, you can dance. Usually if you're going to dance and you want to bring a shawl, that's what the ladies use, and that's what you would go with your partner and have a shawl on, have friends, they go to whoever they want to dance with, but their friends. You have to dance. A long time ago, if you didn't dance, then you had to pay them, or else you had to be of service to them. And nowadays, there's what they call a cat man. Keeps everybody in line with the dancing. He's got a big switch. Come to embarrass you in front of everybody. Get out there.
So how much do I have to bring to pay?
Yeah. So if you get chosen to dance, you gotta dance. Yeah.
And what's your Facebook site?
It's just my name.
There's a-
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Any questions? What I was going to say to us was our Vietnam veterans, when they came back, our ladies, mostly the mothers of the veterans, came up with I was going to say. No, it's Mother's Society. They got a full title.
Mothers Against Fathers.
Yeah, but it's Mothers.
For Vietnam veterans.
Yeah. And unfortunately, most of the mothers are gone. There's only a couple left of mothers.
Is there anything like that at Desert Shield?
No.
Of course not.
They
We went in there, did it right, got back, and that's what we did.
luckily they came up with programs with this War Mothers Society. Yeah. And so when we got back was when they formed that. So at least we were recognized by our own people, where the rest of the world didn't recognize people from vets back. I used to always switch out of uniform and go to my cities. I got to the airport. We had all the protests, got spit on, and all of that. And that's when I talked to the public. Any questions?
There's been quite a few, you see movies and stuff, and some of the Native Americans, they were put on, when they died, their burial, they were on stilts and stuff, but who was
That's Lakota people.
Lakota, so.
Yeah, on burial racks.
And there's Sundance.
They also kill their horses.
Wow.
And even like us, we don't kill the horse or anything like that. When we keep our relatives 4 days, and we say during those 3 days, they go around and say goodbye to all whoever they want to say goodbye to. So you'll see them. However, you know them, and they'll come to you, and of course you tell them goodbye your own way. And then on the third night, at midnight, which is the fourth day, we say there's a door that opens up, and at midnight we have a full ceremony. We put food and things that they're going to need to make this trip to the spirit world. And after that, then the next day is when we marry. It's usually the women take care of all of the burial things for the families. And we have songs that we sing when we turn into mothers.
See the cemetery there off of Highway 40 next to what, is that the main youth cemetery?
Well, it's one of them. We have one on, at each community. And, but because there's a bigger population here in Fort Shane, that's bigger split. Yeah, we have some all the way down to Parade and up at White Rocks, and then there's a couple others that are kind of out in
Who maintains
areas.
the families or the tribe?
I'm sorry?
Who maintains the cemetery?
Families. Families.
Okay.
Yeah. So some you'll see that are taking care of, others are not. Feel so bad because your families is all are all nice and someone else is or we'll try to break it up.
So we're
Take care of it a little. Especially person. A lot of families of us, a lot of our families, either they've moved away or they've all died out. And so some of the old timers, fortunately, nobody takes care of their graves, and so you put down what you can. Any other questions? If not, the way I can spend my honor to be with you today and share this subject with you. Glad our laptop hung in here. I'm sorry, apologize about the sound. I'm thinking because we had volumes up all the way max on the mic and everywhere, and I think it was just my battery. I think it was so low I didn't crank out the volume like it should have.
Will the next presentation be 4 weeks from tonight or today? Or is it today is like a week later than usually usually the second Friday right here. Okay. Really? Okay. Sure, you told us last week that he was getting it from.
Right. So May the 12th is the next one. And so that will coincide with the Fort Shane Fair Dance. So you come here, learn how to do it, and we'll probably do some dancing either in here or outside. You know how to do it.
No, you won't. Dancing is almost as bad to be the city.
Yeah, I think you're sold, not